For the past 37 years, the Network of Religious Communities and the National Federation of Just Communities of Western New York have co-sponsored an Interfaith Thanksgiving celebration and service. This year, respective of CDC and New York State COVID-19 requirements, we will hold a hybrid in-person and stream celebration service. The in-person and streamed event will take place at St. Gregory the Great Roman Catholic Church in Williamsville, New York. Dr. Stan Bratton talks with Rene Pettie-Jones, recently elected president of the National Federation of Just Communities of Western New York, about the Interfaith Thanksgiving celebration and service in 2020, followed by a video of the 2019 Thanksgiving event.
I'm very pleased to welcome Rene Pettie-Jones, who is the recently elected president of the National Federation of Just Communities of Western New York. Welcome, Rene.
Thank you so much, Stan. I am so happy to be here and having a chance to talk with you.
Yeah, and particularly to talk about this event that we've been doing together for so many years.
Absolutely. This is our 38th year. Can you imagine? It's been a long journey, but a very happy and pleasurable journey and connection for all of us.
Well, and we've had 37 years that we've had live events and so forth. This year has been challenging, just like that we're wearing masks as a challenge today.
Something a little different, but you know what? We want to make sure that everyone stays safe, but yet still have the opportunity to come together.
Yes, we're not able to get into the studio, so here we are, a makeshift studio in the basement of the Network of Religious Communities to share this story. You follow after about 30 years of illustrious career of Lana Benetovich.
Recently retired, yes. We're going to miss Lana. She was always the staple with our organization, and she's laid a great foundation for us moving forward. Really looking forward to keeping that legacy going, and of course our partnership.
Part of the National Federation since it became the National Federation.
Absolutely, 14 plus years. So when our name changed from the old National Conference of Christians and Jews, and then of course the National Conference of Community and Justice, we became the NFJC, and I've been with the NFJC ever since. So different positions, but certainly the passion's still there.
Well, it's good that you've had some experience with the organization because you get elected in the midst of a pandemic.
Oh, talk about the timing on everything. We're colliding in terms of all of the issues that we're all facing and dealing with. And as challenging as they are, there's opportunity for all of us to grow together. And I want to make sure that we continue giving the community all of the services that we've done, even through these very difficult and challenging times.
Well, you have a number of small groups that you work with, and that must be particularly challenging, trying to do it on Zoom or YouTube or whatever.
Yes. Unfortunately, not all times can we have this nice social distancing like we have, and it forces us to have to do things a little differently. And even though we are performing in the virtual world, we're still keeping our services up. We want to still connect with people in whatever ways that we can, safely.
Well, and that's what we're trying to do together this year. And we thought of our Thanksgiving celebration service. And it's always a great time for people to get together, different traditions, sharing their meaning of Thanksgiving, that we're able to embrace each other, collect food, and have a big refreshments following.
Yeah, I think that part might have to be put on hold, but I think the event itself, either virtual or in person, should still continue.
Well, that's the great opportunity we have this year, because St. Gregory's, the great Roman Catholic Church in Amherst, has agreed to host the event, and they have a lot of experience of doing both live and streaming events.
Wonderful, and I think that gives people choices. We want to make sure that everybody feels welcomed and a part of the process. And if they can come in and just be safely socially distant, that would be just fine. But if they choose to, Zoom in. That way we still reach and get into more homes than ever.
Well, and we're going to still have our presenters from each of the traditions, but some of them we may have to record to YouTube in advance and then they'll be able to be put at program. But other things we can do live as people feel comfortable.
That's right. And we don't want anyone to feel that they can't be part of this process. We know the recommendations are for small gatherings to make sure that people still remain safely within their homes and outside of the home. But we want to make sure that we have that opportunity to still share our Thanksgiving traditions. We learn something every year from each time that we've had these services. 37, 38 years of traditions. We don't want to lose that opportunity.
Thank you, Rene Pettie-Jones, for being with us and getting us ready for the annual Interfaith Thanksgiving service on the 23rd of November, 7 p.m., either live or streamed.
During the service, there were 6 speakers, each representing a different faith within Buffalo and the surrounding areas. Baha'i, Buddhism, Hinduism, Judaism, Islam, and Sikhism were the religions presented within the program this year.
We invite each of the communities to have a person come and speak. And as you can see, there's a diversity of people. They change from year to year, but each are expected to share something about Thanksgiving from their religious tradition.
The inclusive nature of the multi-faith service allows people of different backgrounds and religions to come together in a time of worship and gratitude.
Well, I think many people say, I didn't realize there was such religious diversity in Western New York. Or they could say, well, I've never heard a clear articulation of Islam. Here we had a young woman speaking, very articulate of connections for herself as a young woman, what it means to be that in Islam.
Thanksgiving is the only holiday that is celebrated within all of the represented faiths, so this service is an opportunity to promote community within Buffalo.
Well, I think there are 2 pieces. One is the ability to celebrate who we are in Western New York, to get out of our own little silos and to recognize how many different kinds of people there are here and how we have a real sense of common understanding of things, common work together, and to build together this community of Western New York.